Hello, everybody. This was supposed to be like a set against um, my opponent for this week, SP, for Team Tour, and I was gonna like show a highlight game off of that, and that was gonna be the video. And then the update came out, like completely randomly. I had no idea it was coming out at the time it was. Um, so here we are. And by that I mean I'm not gonna show like any of the new things in the update at all because a lot of them were. There's some interesting things, but I happen to be on Star Pack in this lobby, which didn't really get that many changes. Like Elk got changed, but you'll quickly see that's not relevant here. Because this is the Blitz lobby, I was in the stream chat of somebody named Cobblestone8888. You could see their name briefly in here, and you decided to set up lobbies with a turn timer of 30 seconds. So, like, you might not see the most optimal play ever. But, you know, 30 seconds is not very long, especially when that also includes the time that fights take. But regardless, I thought that this game was pretty interesting. And I think it just goes to show what Starpack is really capable of and how people have kind of underestimated it for a long time. I'm not even particularly good at Starpack. I think I may have somewhat messed up here. Not being able to have the other Chihuahua on board. But look, there were 30 seconds, okay? It's obviously not going to be perfect. And obviously, like, trying to do a full elk turn under these time restraints is just not realistic. Which is partially why I don't take this elk. I could take the elk and then get, like, a bunch of cell gold on Marmoset, and that's probably the best thing to do, maybe, possibly. Like I say, I'm not very good at Starpack. But, like, there was no way that I could do like 25 gold turn in 30 seconds. I was only barely able to get all of my moves in as it was. Okay, I took the Fairy Armadillo. This is actually one of the units that's changed. It's changed to only be 1 hurt trigger, and if it's still standing, and then it gains 2 health instead of, I think it was 3 before. Which I think is a really neat change. Like, Fairy Armadillo just looks a lot stronger now. So I just start spamming pairs on it. I buy a random half level on Clownfish. And we hit another Clownfish as well. I really wish that there was some kind of like timer indicator to show how long moves take to consider. Like, you know, if any of you play chess, if you like review your game on chess.com or whatever, there'll be like an indicator of how long each move took to make. I think they should have that in the SAP replay as well. I'm not sure how exactly they would represent it, but I think it'd be a pretty interesting thing to see. Here we face the summon team. Unfortunately, big protected ball. Just kind of runs through everything. You level Clownfish. I'm selling Jellyfish and taking the Ostrich. I think I just chocolated the Ostrich, yeah. At this point, like, having to freeze roll all of this stuff and look for the same tier pets was very difficult to do under the time constraints. To the point where I actually had to, like, go back on an old habit and start right-clicking to freeze stuff. There's kind of this divide between newer players and older players. Older players generally tend to drag pets to freeze them. Like they drag a pet down to the freeze button at the bottom. But in this case, I had to like unlearn that almost because it was a lot slower than just right-clicking the pet. And we have an Ammonite, and I mean with Clownfish, we're just keeping this on board. I think this is some stuff that like Freeze has figured out recently. Agent Core's on 5 lives. At this point, it's just me and Agent Core. We're both on 4 lives, but I think that like I have significantly more scaling with Ostrich. I don't know why I freeze this celery, to be honest with you. Again, 30-second time constraints. I just take the combine on Ostrich. I find level on Fairy Armadillo. I don't even have time to position at this point. I probably would have tried to pug the Ammonite if that was the case. But it unfortunately isn't. We're still winning by quite a lot, but Agent Core has like double monkey buffing a leopard now, and once that gets to level 2 it's going to be terrifying. But unfortunately Agent Core hasn't considered just hit the level 3 Ostrich anyway. We don't get any triggers on Ammonite, but that's okay. Ammonite dies, and actually our Fairy Armadillo becomes a Mimic Octo, and we're not able to get protected ball value. So we lose there. And at this point, I'm just spending all my gold each turn rolling down to try and get value out of this level 3 Ostrich. Find a bunch of tier 2s. I don't even remember how I was able to freeze all of those, like, tier 4s and then unfreeze them for these tier 5s in time. I think at the point I froze this, there was maybe half a second left on the turn timer. Which is certainly interesting. Okay, we get Mimic Octo to level 3 now, because we're basically just rolling each turn. And so if we're spending all 10 gold rolling, then this will always make the Mimic Octo a level 3. Rolls this turn. You can see there's plenty to get to level 3, which also means that it gets a ton of extra stats from Clownfish. Which is really nice. Clownfish is just kind of here. Leopard Tiger, that's scary. But look how many stats we get back. And the Baguette gets rid of a melon. Like, this leopard is nearly maxed at a certain point, and, you know, there's not much you can do beyond that. Except, maybe if he just hopes to hit level 2 Tiger this turn. But, I mean, it's just so many stats as this Ostrich. I don't even have, like, a hamster or anything. There goes the Ostrich. I think it's actually incredibly notable that this Clownfish lived and didn't, like, get forcibly turned into a Mimic Octo or anything like that. But yeah, melons just don't exist, and we're able to win. Blitz Lobbies are hella fun. It's like a whole different skill set almost to, like a regular competitive game. Not just for the fact that it's a lobby, but also because this is like the only time in the game really where APM is relevant. It's a little bit important on like elk turns, but not massively even then. But yeah, like I play Battlegrounds sometimes, and like, you know, I like this APM stuff. This was really fun to do. And I hope that there's some way to incorporate APM as a skill set into SAP in some way. I don't know exactly how it would work, but I think it'd be cool. Anyway, that's about it. Have a wonderful day.